Okay, so I welcome you to this video to the English Premier League match day 8, in which we can check out the prices, the betting market, compare to what this tool compiles and thinks about it, whereby I have to mention that all the true prices that are coming out here are based on my settings. So in case you know better, or you want to experiment a bit, or you want to understand the facilities or all the features of this tool, you can get your own access to the tool via the which you find in the description, how to assess that, how to how you can access it. No, I don't know the word at the moment. Well, at least you can get your I don't know the word at the moment. You can use the tool yourself. Okay, so we look at the matches, and we can, of course, usually we can check out the table here as well, and which is a pretty new feature. First of all, we can always compare how well the team performed compared to what I thought. We can compare the goal average. Are there too many or too few goals? We see here 182. I expected 191.54, so it's a bit more of an under at the moment. Maybe if you're watching out for that, who has overperformed? All the green figures are good ones and the red ones are bad ones. So Manchester City obviously have too few points, but it's not a lot that they are failing here, and Manchester United as well. And you will find here at the bottom, of course, Norwich have too few points, also Newcastle, Burnley, and so on. And there we can, of course, get additional information. But not just that we can compare what the computer expected and what the level they played at or the results they got. We can also have a look at the statistics, or rather do it like this, where we can just look at the statistics. And there I have a couple of values that I mostly keep an eye on. And for example, Manchester City, obviously they have most of the possession, maximum of passes of all the teams. Also dangerous attacks, they are way ahead. If you see here 530, Liverpool not far behind, but Chelsea, for example, they are not so good, whereby you can say maybe they are defending better. But you can look at the corners as well, 66, 64, usually Manchester City and Liverpool are still the best sides, which you can check out here and there and so on. Anyway, I will improve my tool here and also to work out the method, or the method is there, but I have to implement this to work out the functionality, that we can compare how many shots they had, how many did I expect for them. You can see here Liverpool 147, clearly top there, but we can also look at the shots they conceded, which is also pretty important. And like this, obviously we have some extra possibilities already within the tool to improve our evaluations and our figures. And if we look at Liverpool, computer says 146. We saw here the market is 133, or here my Betago is 133, and 932 is the true price on Watford, so that would not be a bet. If any, we could even consider the draw, which would be the outsider chance that we could possibly bet on. 460, we have 530. Computer is right now, I showed this already, and there has been implemented the draw reduce somehow, because it's all over the place. There are too many draws. We see this here as well. This is just the draws. There are 20 of them. I expected 17.17, so there are too many draws in that sense. But I have adjusted this now, so the algorithm is a bit more taking care of that, because there is obviously such a tendency. So that's why maybe there is this draw indication, where when there are huge differences between the teams, you may have your doubts whether this draw reduce factor, so to say, is adequate, because Liverpool know what they need to do and they know what they want, and they want to win. So because this is such an unbalanced game. And Aston Villa, so I would not propose it. Aston Villa, we have 220, this is 242, maybe even there a draw indication, which is a 320 compared to the 317. Very small indication once again. It is a low scoring game in some sense, so maybe, well, if you like it, you can bet it. I wouldn't propose it here, because with the draws we still have to get used to it, and then if anything we would have to watch out for them regularly. So if you do it just, well, I'm going to go for the draw in this game or on this one, it's just then you would have to bet on every single indication, and this is not a real indication. Leicester against Manchester United, what would the market say here? 350, 350, 2.05. So that would be once again the draw, which is a bit too, well, a very, very slight indication here. Otherwise, it's nothing indicated, but if anything, we could possibly, well, 351, 350 we get. Market is overrating Manchester United. Well, do they? Of course, we can check out the stats here as well for these two teams. Just to give you one example, Manchester United 120 shots, 40 on goal. This is behind Liverpool with Chelsea, level with Chelsea. What are Leicester doing? 78, that's not a lot, and 23 on target. Also possession time does not look impressive. So Leicester do seem to be a bit out of shape. We can look at the dangerous attacks. This is for Leicester. Oh, this is a lot. 662. No, that's total attacks. Sorry, 281. This looks like below average. Manchester United way ahead. So I would say Leicester seem to be a bit out of shape. So we would not go with them. And Manchester City 113, 121. Let's compare the draw price. Once again, we would have a draw indication, 850 compared to 755. I explained this already for the Liverpool match. It's the same thing here. Manchester City, they know what they need, and there's no real draw inclination somehow. So, but there is a chance, even in this tool, to switch on or off the chance to take care of the draw probability by team strength difference. There we would have, but I need to experiment a bit with it first of all, and then get some stats for that. But where you can say, well, the further they are apart, the lower the draw inclination, which would anyway be there, because the further apart the goal expectancies, the lower the draw probability anyway. But there it would be an additional, so it would start with a pretty high inclination when they are close together, and then it would slowly make that grow. So these two indications for Liverpool and a draw and Manchester City draw would be based on this slight, well, is it an error? We have to watch stats for that to prove that it's that this approach is right. I mean, the closer they are together, the higher the probability for a draw. But we need to prove this statistically, and where I have some ideas already, and I also have some results already, but we have to confirm that. So you have a suspicion somehow that football is developing in the way that they all are, well, are playing more carefully. They avoid any kind of risk, and when they accept each other, when they are closer together, you can say, well, okay, we are not attacking you as long as you don't with us, right? Anyway, the Norwich Brighton, that would be another indication, and maybe well, Norwich are so weak at the moment, but maybe, well, you see here at least they are a bit closer together, and also a low scoring game in some sense, right? Otherwise we agree more or less on these two teams. We can of course have a check here. That's only 6 games. Maybe there are some stats missing. I don't know. I didn't check that. But 63 goal attempts are not a lot. This is very low. While Brighton may be pretty good. 86. Well. I mean, of course, that's why they are favorites. Anyway, this there would be an indication here. That would be a clearer one, and maybe if you like it, you go for it. I don't even dare to check something here. I just want to show you. You can get those figures. You can compare here, and you can go for the betting here. There would be an indication on Leeds, if you like it, or 290, 285. That's not a real indication, and Leeds have really been awful so far, not winning their game, second league up in the Premiership, so maybe more difficult to make the results. Brentford Chelsea 160. Here we had an indication on the favorite, but obviously, well, it's especially Chelsea that it did not perform so well. It's especially Brentford that are producing the results. So maybe we stay away from this and we accept market, heads off to market. They somehow may have noticed that Chelsea didn't play so well, while they in fact still are getting the results. On West Ham we would have an indication here, 228, 245. Well, do you like West Ham? They are behind. Do you like Everton? West Ham are the better side at the moment. We can of course as well check out here. Well, do we want the efforts or do we want the table with the expectancies? That's Leeds. They are way behind, and they are taking on West Ham, which are of course green. It's not by that much that they are green. Goal difference +4 is pretty good, 1.11 expected. And Everton, which were the sides I had to look up here? Everton are playing, are taking on West Ham, so Everton are doing fine. This was a pairing, right? Everton. So in this case, I would say, well, this looks fine to me, right? I wouldn't know. I mean, they are even overperforming a bit more than West Ham do. So what's wrong with this one? And Newcastle at 340, 2.10 on Tottenham, 215, true price 215, 220, sorry, market price here is at 220, market price 215, no indication on that. Maybe even once again the draw. So if anything, we could 350, 345, be consequent and bet all the draws, right? And Arsenal, it's 165. That sounds like a lot to me. And there's even an indication on Arsenal to win. So if we would check them all, that would be here, here, here in the Southampton Leeds 350. That's not enough in this case. The others had been in general indicated. Even this, even this, even this. I mean, if I would, so we would have 6 bets on the draw and 3 favorites. So does it sound so awful to you? I wouldn't know. I mean, we should of course check on Monday what happened to these bets, but I actually am a bit afraid to even check that, because I don't know. I mean, it's at the moment a small problem with the results. I don't know if you still like this, what I'm doing and what I'm presenting to you. I think there is a lot of value in this tool and the way it calculates and the way it's working out, and so I would rather motivate you to maybe get your access to that and start and trying yourself to work with these tools and make your settings yourself, which I will very well and happily explain to you if you have any doubts about it, how to maybe adjust settings here or there, if you know or understand something a bit better or have a different opinion also. So thanks a lot for watching, and bye bye, see you soon.